it's episode 8.
Woohoo!
Yes, it is. Thank you. Hey, hi, Facebook. Thanks for helping Mama out. Mama could not remember what night it was, so I said, I was trying to practice, and I said, welcome back to episode 7, and Sky was like, I was like, what, 7? She's like, nope, it's 8. So thank you. I'm glad you're serving so many roles. You're really doing so many roles.
Hold on, I want to do this again. Hold on.
One more time.
Nice job. Hey, that's the first time I'm on camera.
So welcome
My hand.
back to episode 8. I'm Randi, and this is our Facebook Live event that we're doing every night. This officially starts week 2. Started it last Saturday. Big shout out to my audience, my MC tonight, Skylar Faith, and then of course Daddy on camera. Big shout out to the cameraman. Yeah, you're doing a swell job there, my friend. I have to be honest about something. Can I tell him?
What?
Can I tell him what we talked about a little bit?
What?
About me?
Before,
To me?
Yeah, because you were right. Yeah, can I mention it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I've been giving a lot of shout outs this week, and Skylar took me, we had a pre-show meeting, and she took me backstage, and she said, backstage in the hallway, and she was like, I think tonight, when you're doing the part where you talk, you should maybe talk about Daddy a little more. I was like, oh.
Thank you, kiddo.
I should, and I will. So thank you for that note. It was an excellent note. So Daddy, thank you for working in a really hot room and running my really high-tech, low-tech operation.
Oh, yeah.
We've got computers, we've got cameras set up. There's a lot going on here. So first thing I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to try to see if I can share, and I don't think I can, but I'm going to see if I can try to share my Facebook Live show over to my music page. Share now, public. Yes, very good. Share to a page. Here we go. Share to a page that I manage. Can we do it? I can do it. Here it is. So if you're over on my music page, you can watch this. Let's see who's checking in to say hi. Hey, we've got Erie, Pennsylvania saying hello. Hi, Rosie. Looks like we've got New Jersey saying hello. Amazing. How's everybody's day going? We had a really nice day. My idea to do this Facebook Live was basically to find a way for us to have some sort of a community and a connection, and it was selfishly a way for me to check in with my friends and say hello in these really uncertain times where we're not sure what's going on. And I just felt like it was a good way to really just tell people that I love them and to sing a little bit and to chat a little bit. And so that's what we're doing here. The birds are out. It's a beautiful day in Nashville, Tennessee, where we live. And so I usually start by telling you a little bit about what we did today, right? So we had a really, really nice day. As you know, the kids in most places, I think in the U.S. now, are no longer going to school. So if you have a child that was in public school or even in private school, your kids are home and you are now suddenly a homeschool teacher. And so the kids have really been missing seeing their teachers. Our case in Nashville is even a little different because, as you know, tonight I'm wearing my Mount Juliet Strong woo-woo t-shirt. We're very Nashville proud here. 3 weeks ago we went through a pretty terrible tornado that hit our community. It hit a whole bunch of areas in Nashville that were wonderful, beautiful communities, and East Nashville, and then a little bit north of Nashville got hit, and then obviously the East Nashville got hit. And so when we got done digging out from that and sort of starting to rebuild and repair, then this pandemic happened. So people here are really having to demonstrate what it means to love thy neighbor and be really community-based. But people in the South are really good at that, and I've been so inspired by all y'all. So tonight I'm wearing this t-shirt. Every night's a different t-shirt to do a little shout out to something. And this is to support Nashville. But one of the things that happened was because we had the tornado, the kids were out of school. Then it was technically their spring break, the kids were out of school. And then the virus happened, the kids are out of school. So they've been out of school for a long time and they're really missing their friends and their teachers. So today, in our neighborhood, the amazing teachers from her elementary school, MJE1, drove around the neighborhood. That's right, they took the bus route. And all of the teachers were in cars, and the cars were decked out with pom-poms on it, and they rode on it, right? They rode all over the car, Sky, and the teachers all waved at the kids, and all of the kids came out. Everyone was practicing good social distance, and we stood on our corners, and we waved to all of our teachers, and we got to say hello at all the people. Wasn't it awesome, Sky?
Yeah.
Was it really nice? And you were really excited to see your teacher, and did you get to see her?
Yes.
Yeah, and she was really
and
happy.
my first grade teacher.
Yes, and did Mommy cry? Yeah, Mommy cried a lot. It was really really beautiful. It's a really nice thing for these families and teachers to do for us. The principal was there. It was just amazing, and with a cop escort and everything. So that was a beautiful way for us to connect. People are becoming super creative. That's just what's happening. We're finding a way to reach out, and it's amazing. I'm going to check in and see who else is here. Hey, hey. Oh, people from all over. This is so fun. Hi, Tim. So good to see you. Hey, Craig. Someone's asking how old Skylar is. Skylar, how old are you now?
I'm 7.
She's 7, going on 37. I got Texas in the house. Woo woo! Nashville strong. Yep, you know it. Okay, so one of the things that I did is I asked people if they wanted to send in some pictures from their kiddos. So we had a bunch. I was able to print out 3 today. This is from the Rogers family in Wisconsin. Look at these beautiful photographs. Love, love, love. I'm going to hang them all behind me, and for however long I'm here, this wall will be covered, and if we have to move on to other walls, then we'll move on to other walls. So thanks for, it's cool, right? We get to sort of like see some art to make us feel good. Peace and love, super important. What's for dinner? That's the other question that I always get. Tonight we're doing a barbecue per Skylar's request because the weather's beautiful and it's nice to eat outside. So homemade macaroni salad and then veggie burgers and things on the grill, right? Although you want a hot dog, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, hot dog. Mom, don't forget the hot dog. Let's be serious. Okay. Let's see. What else? Social distancing, yeah, so we experienced that today. It's really hard for kids. I wanted to talk about that just a tiny little bit before I started singing and introduced my guest for tonight. Especially, I've noticed for only children. This is a hard concept. Not only are you not allowed to be on the playground and play with people because of the things you're touching, but you can't just run up to your little ones and hug them. It's really heartbreaking for the mamas and the papas to have to do it too. But I know that you guys are doing it, and I see it, and it's appreciated. This virus is dangerous in that it spreads, as you know, from people that don't even look sick at all. So it's just a whole new world we're living in, and we know that by being separate and keeping yourself away from others, we know that you're really saving lives. So thanks for being so great and just such a wonderful human heart. I'm wearing a new hat tonight. It's a hint for our guest. It's a hint. Okay, so I'm going to do an old song tonight. Something I haven't played in a while. This is really fun because we don't know how long this is going to go on. So I'm just kind of pulling out all the stops, but it's really fun because it's been a chance for me to connect with some of my older music songs that I'm really lucky because I have a journal for my entire life, and it's basically a CD for every chapter. And so here's one of those chapters. But which is tens of years old. Thank you. That's my audience on the crowd goes wild. Woo! And that song is super special and is probably a big hint for who my guest is tonight. It was the first song that I ever recorded with one of my dearest friends. Who could that be? His ears were ringing. Is it? Right. It's Larry Mitchell. Hi, Larry. I mean, I think it's Larry. I don't know what's happening.
Hey, well, I'm trying to. Everybody's talking about getting these masks all over the world, and so.
Right. No, that's not the mask they're talking about, Larry. That's not. No, that's not it.
What?
I don't know what's happening. It must be the weekend because Veronica had like a unicorn emoji on, and you're wearing some sort of a. I don't know. Skylar's a little creeped out. Oh yes, no, that's better. The bear hat is so much better. Yeah. So let me introduce you properly. This is Larry Mitchell. Larry is my dear friend, and I'm so honored to say that he has produced all of my CDs, and that was my first song. That I don't know if you caught it, but I did your tune, Larry. It was, I thought you did. I thought that's what you were playing. He remembers it, which is amazing too, because Larry and I will get together to play, and I'll say, oh, I think I want to do, and he's like, I've produced how many, records for you, how many CDs, and you want me to remember what song? And I'm like, yeah, come on, it's in C minor, E flat. So that was but what's special about that song is that it's actually the first song that Larry and I ever did together. And he was living in San Diego at the time, and I knew him, but I had heard some other music that he worked on and said, I really want to work with him. It was one of the most positive music experiences I've ever had in my entire life. We instantly connected, and what he was able, I love that one, and what he was able to do with that song, and what he was able to bring out of me vocally, just all of it, keyboard, vocal, piano, emotion, all of it lyrically, and what he taught me about writing a song was pretty amazing, and I credit you with pretty much so much of my songwriting career, and I love you for that. If you know that though. So anyway, so this is Larry Mitchell. This is Grammy Award winning Larry Mitchell, and so I don't know if you saw, but I'm wearing my Grammy tonight too.
And why would you just bring up Grammys?
So good, so good. Oh my God, polish it. It's really, people been touching it. You've been touching it? Are you just holding it? You're in lockdown and you're just holding on to it. No. And there was a squirrel. Just to be clear, it was a Grammy next to a stuffed squirrel. Okay, no, that seems perfectly correct, yeah. So Larry, first thing I want to do tonight, first of all, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us, and everyone watching, and there's people watching from all over, I see a lot of your friends have come on to say hi. Can you tell us a little bit about, first of all, where are you? Where are you in the world? Where in the world is Larry Mitchell? Because you're not on tour. Chances are pretty good you were supposed to be on tour somewhere, but you're not right now. So where are you?
First of all, thank you, Randy. Your show is great. Absolutely great. Does Ellen know about your show? She'd be a little nervous.
I know. Okay.
I am home. I had planned on being home in March to do some production.
Wow,
work
that's
with a couple
amazing.
of different artists.
Wow, that's amazing. So you weren't on the road
Yes.
because what you guys may or may not know, I know a lot of your fans hopped on here to watch, but last year was like an insane touring year for you, like internationally too. The last couple of years, I would see Larry for 2 days in between like Russia and who knows where, Los Angeles, and then back to somewhere else really exotic and crazy. So you were you traveling at all internationally at the beginning of this year, or were you in the States? Okay.
No. This year, I started out in Nashville.
Okay, yeah.
And then I went to, I did a short run of shows with my friend, the Travis Larson Band, opening up for them in Northern California, down to the NAMM show.
Yes,
NAMM. And then I went to Phoenix and got the flu.
Ooh.
Which is not fun. Yeah,
yeah.
And then I came home and I went to two places. I went to Florida to do some stuff for FSU, and then I went up to Maryland to do some stuff with Dawn Avery and other artists I produced, and then and Montgomery College up there. And then I came home, And I've been home since.
So it kind of oddly, the timing worked out a little bit. Like strangely, you were planning a little bit of time off to focus on production, and the universe said, "Okay, we're going to give everybody a little time off to focus on production." No, so you're home, and how is it in the state where you first? Just tell us what state you're in, and tell us if it's I mean, you don't have to if you don't want. He's very, very secretive, so you don't have to. But are you under lockdown? What we've been doing is like everyone that we talk to, and we've talked to people from New York, people from Pennsylvania, people from California. It's interesting to hear what's going on in every different city, because it's not the same. So obviously, when we checked in with our friends in New York, it's a very different situation, and bare streets that are normally just crowded with people that you can barely move. So what about where you are? What's your situation like?
I actually haven't been out much. I've gone out to the grocery store and the bank a couple of times,
right.
Maybe 3 times.
Right.
And that's it. And by the way, I've eaten all the snacks. I've eaten.
Of course you have. Of course you have. I'm sure you have.
No. I'm in Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm in Opelika, Alabama.
Yeah.
About 4.5, 5 hours straight south of you.
Yeah. So you stockpiled some snacks, but they're all gone. So you're through day 43 of quarantine food. Yeah, great. Good job there. Good job.
Oh, dude, I'm through day 112.
That's a problem. So that's really good. I'm glad that you've been able to stay. And it's funny too, because musicians, and not everyone knows this, right, Larry? But musicians have 2 parts of them. We all do. We're the introvert and the extrovert. It's absolutely true. And some lean more one way than another. But as especially for musicians, and this is true of a lot of artists, but for musicians, it's definitely true that there's that part of us that likes to be alone, and we like writing, and we like working on our craft, and we like practicing our craft, and we feel really good in those moments when we're just alone with our music. And I know especially for you with production, you're sitting in a room for hours and hours alone. But then there's the flip side of that, where we also love being out with people and having that interaction and having people just respond to our music. That connection is really important. So my feeling has been that right now the musicians I know are sort of cherishing this downtime. We've talked to a bunch of touring artists that are actually in a way a little bit happy to have a small break. But there's also that itch in us, that we know that soon we'll want to be reaching out and doing that human connection again. So
there's also uncertainty. As a musician, there's always uncertainty about when your next gigs are.
Always.
So a lot of people are cherishing this moment of being able to work, but they're also like, well, when is it going to start again?
Right.
I just need to know. And we have to book things way ahead of time.
Right.
I definitely lean towards. I have no problem being in a house for many days, many weeks, and working on. I got some guitars, I got some stuffed animals. I had some snacks. No, I still have snacks. I still.
Awesome.
It's all good. It's not all good, but it's all good. I'm working on a couple of artist records that I produced. Actually, I have to finish a song for you.
Awesome. Yes.
And then I started working on my next record, and
awesome.
And also
That's great.
Backing tracks for solo shows, clinics, and for my Tuesday Night Live show on Facebook and YouTube. Next week is the 30th anniversary of my first record.
It's amazing, Larry.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So I'm gonna start doing a lot more of those songs on my live solo shows and stuff like that.
So you got to start learning. That's what I just did for tonight. I had to learn some of those old songs. It's fun though. I have a minute or 2 to do it now. Larry has been. Larry always pushes me to do more and do better, and he's been a long supporter of my career, and I can never ever will be able to thank you enough for all of your belief in me. But he's been trying to get me to do Randy's Damn Facebook Live for years. And, life has happened, and we've been able to do some things virtually, and we've done a lot of house concerts and things like that. But finally, here I am doing it. But Larry, for a long time, maybe 2-3 years now, you've been doing your Tuesday Night Live, right? I mean, that's like...
A little over 2 years.
And Larry does it anywhere. Like, he will let nothing stop him. Like, it doesn't matter if his flight's delayed. He's doing a Facebook Live from the airport, and people are loving it. And they've never been so happy to have a flight delayed. But so it's really great. So definitely check his out. And my next question is going to be a really obvious one since you're holding an instrument. Would you play something for us? We would really love it. You know, music certainly soothes the soul. Your music has been a soundtrack to my life in the many, many stages of it, and it would be really good for our listeners, and they're already asking me for it. So can you entertain us a little bit tonight?
Yeah, will you play along a little bit?
I'm going to try. You better believe I'm going to try. All right.
All right. This is for Sky.
Aww.
Thanks for playing with me.
It was so cool. I told Andrew to keep the camera on you, but at one point I was like, that's me. Oh, it's working. It totally worked. So Larry had me do I'll let you hear it now. Larry had me do a wind pad, which is very similar to a Larry Mitchell sound. And so the best part of that whole thing for me, I love that song so much. Tell them what CD that song's on so that they can grab it if they're interested, because people are looking for all kinds of music right now. So where can they get that?
That is on Escape.
Yes, it
Acoustic Passages Volume 1.
Couple things I want to tell you. First of all, that's one of our favorite songs, and you know it's really funny because the artists who have come on, a lot of them have been playing my favorite songs, but we do listen to each other's music. That happens, and not just because we gig together. But what I've told Larry before, and I have proof right now, is that that particular CD, and he has a ton of amazing ones. That one was one that I listened to all the time when Skylar was really little. We would just be awake all afternoon, sort of lounging in the sun on the bed. She was teeny tiny, and that song was one that it always made us smile, always made her smile. So tonight when you started, I looked over at Sky. I said, "Do you remember this song?" And she said, "No." you started playing and you got to one of the themes, one of the parts you remembered, and she stood up and she said, yeah, I remember it. Yeah, I know it. It was awesome. So, I mean, it's beautiful that my friends also have the music that sort of weaves through my life, and I feel really blessed about that.
You have awesome friends.
Well, yeah, and also I wanted to tell you that every night one of the questions I get is, what are you drinking, right? So it's anything from apple juice to Chardonnay. So what I'm drinking, I'm going to show you what I'm drinking. What, you're having coffee? Very good.
Hot chocolate.
Oh, hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, I want everyone to know that I am sipping something that I never drank, but I didn't know what to put in it. A little Fireball out of my Larry Mitchell shot glass. So he always has. So there you go.
Right.
I don't even know if there are any left, but these are just the coolest thing ever. There's also Larry Mitchell yo-yos. There's Larry Mitchell coloring books. It's great. I should sip now that I said that right.
You should.
Hot damn,
I
that's
had a
good.
yo-yo right there.
That's good.
Can't seem to get it.
Yeah, Larry Mitchell has his own coloring book. That's pretty cool. Larry, if people want to find your music right now, and I'm always prefacing this by saying that we understand that this is a really unique time, and though everyone loves supporting the arts, awesome, that's a yo-yo. That is literally a yo-yo with you on it. Okay, that's how you know you've made it. Grammy Schmammy. He's got a yo-yo. If people are able to and they want to support the arts, or they want to purchase music, or they want to tip out, what do you have? Tell them your website and tell them places they can find your music and tip you out and things like that if they want to support.
LarryMitchell.com, MITCHELL is the name, LarryMitchell.com. And then it's on iTunes, Pandora, Spotify.
Good.
And I can't remember, to tell you the truth.
Well, that was a lot. That was good. Well, I loved having you. Mostly, this is super selfish for me because I get to check in with my friends and see how you're doing. And I'm glad that you're doing well. You look fantastic. You sound amazing. I'm glad you're working hard. Can't wait to hear the song and all of your new stuff, of course. And now I'm going to ask you the same 3 questions that I ask everyone every night, okay? It's just fun to get everyone's different perspective. Oh my God, are you changing hats? Do you feel like this is a costume change? Okay, I understand. Oh, that. Okay, yeah. Put his thinking cap on. Okay, so what, Larry Mitchell, do you think has been the hardest part of this time of social... what's happening? Oh, there's more things. Okay, right. Now that's just a frog playing
I don't even know
a
what that
guitar.
is.
I'm not sure. Now it's a puppet show. My Facebook Live just turned into a puppet show for the kids. He'll be here at noon tomorrow doing puppetry and guitar.
You're missing the shadow puppets again going on. Right?
Oh, well, listen, we have time on our hands. We can do a lot of things, but with a soundtrack. Okay, so what, Larry, do you think has been the hardest part about this time being in social isolation and quarantine? What's the hardest part for you?
Hardest part for me?
Yeah.
That there's not a lot of great sci-fi on right now. I just finished Picard, which was amazing. But I need more really awesome sci-fi.
I hear you. People are learning a lot about you tonight just on this interview. He's a sci-fi. I mean, the funny thing is when you're recording with Larry, it's a process and you might spend several days together. You would be, look at that. You would be amazed at the things that he makes me watch while we're supposed to be doing my music. It's unnecessary. I always, lie to myself and think that that's how you're like really tapping into your really creative juices, but I'm not sure.
Hey, Roger Rabbit inspires so many creative
I don't know about that. I don't know. Okay, second question. What do you think is the best part of this time that we're going through? What could you say is the silver lining, if there is one? And for some people, it's, that maybe there isn't really one, but for you, what's the silver lining?
I think I'll get to me last. I think in general, as a society, we're at a reboot. We're at a restart. Mm-hmm. And it's forcing a lot of people to rethink what's important. Some people are there and they're thinking what's really important, and some people are still not there yet. Mm-hmm. It's gotten artists to really rethink how they go about their art, because some don't think of it as a business, and you do have to think about it as a business when it goes away,
right?
And when everything goes away. For me, it just got me to slow down a little bit. And I have to really reshape, really plan out how I go about a year as far as dividing my time for producing other artists, producing a new product for me, and booking shows and doing certain things. So when you're a solo artist doing stuff with no management or a record company, anything like that, you do everything. And then I also am the engineer, producer, writer for myself. So I have to start to divide up when I can't divide up when I write. I can't control that. I write all the time. I record on my phone, but I can dictate what part of the year I want to start putting everything else on a hold and work on music for me. Right. And then what amount of time I allot to other artists who want me to help them produce their records. Right. Which is hard because that depends on people's time and budgets and when they're creative as well. But I still have to stick to it, I think. Yep. And then I like to tour with other artists. I love playing with you, and especially playing with you and Noah. So I have to figure out when I can say yes, I can come do that. Yeah. I like to do a lot of different things. I don't like to necessarily do too much of one specific thing, but I have to really rethink how I want to do that. And this amount of time, and so far, has helped me do that. And it's helped me really just dive in and really get more focus. The word for me for the last 4 years has been focus. Got it. And now it's like hyper focus.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. And a couple different people have mentioned, and not just, doing the lives, but just to me personally, that they're rethinking their time management and how they use it. Okay, so then the last question is, and it's a deep one, so you got to be deep. What have you learned? What right now, where we are with what's happening, what have you learned that you'll take away for sure? And if we check back in, a few weeks, it might be something different. But right now, what have you learned because of this experience?
I haven't learned. I just reinforced that that nothing is guaranteed. Yes. So you have to act upon what you think you need to do within reason. You have to do it. You have to just do it. Yep. A lot of times people will say, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Right. Later may not look like the way you thought it was going to look like.
Exactly. It may look completely different. Yeah, no time but the present. Well, I'm so glad that you were here tonight. It was great to see you in all of your costume changes. I love you very much. I can't wait till we're actually in the same place together again making music. It's one of my favorite things when Larry's doing a show with me. And please hug Mom and hug everyone that you're able to virtually, and just keep spreading love through your music and your big smile and your big heart. We miss you very much.
Spread love, not virus.
There you go. Well, yeah, there you go. Hashtag that. All right. I love you, Larry. Thanks for being with us. Have a great night. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that's Larry Mitchell. He's the best. Larry is Andrew wants me. My director wants me to sign that down.
I do.
Larry he's such a critical part of my music. So any music that you've heard me do over the years, so much of it is because of Larry. Because he, I was in bands before we did our first CD to play together. But he had a way of sort of helping me sort of craft my craft. That's not a very crafty way to say that, but craft my craft. And it's really fun because we work together. He produces my music. We've done some touring together, playing together, and he's also a dear friend. And I get really cool swag like shot glasses and yo-yos. So there's that. Thanks for being here. So we had a lot of requests at the beginning of the week for some old music, and so this is off the same CD. This is also off the play. Haven't done this one that often, but I'm going to do it right now. Never heard this, honey.
clap, 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 clap.
Woo! And I used to play that song at every show I ever did, for all the people that felt trapped, like they couldn't breathe. They were in some sort of a situation that was holding them down. Hopefully you are in a place tonight where you feel loved and you feel safe. Big shout out to all of the people who cannot stay at home to watch a Facebook Live tonight because they are out on the front line saving lives and they're doing the work. Heartbreaking stories right now if you turn on the news about the workers who are out there who are working long shifts, who are separated from their families. They would so much rather be home in front of a computer watching really anything. So huge shout outs to all of the people who are out there. Please do your part. I know you are because you're really a wonderful, wonderful group of people. Stay strong. Tomorrow night we're going to have sort of a really special Facebook Live event. It's going to be sort of a little more spiritual and faith-based with a lot of feel-good stuff to bring us together as a community, just as like a hold hands and virtually hug one another because I kind of feel like we really need that right now. I need that. Maybe I just need that. Remember that your vibe attracts your tribe, and I totally love my tribe. Big thanks to Larry Mitchell. And we will see you tomorrow night at the same time. Mwah! Thanks for being here.